Are you stupid or something? You probably are, and buddy, that's alright. You're in the right place to learn some stuff, so stick around and you just might. My name is Notme, and I'll be asking some Q's, and at the end you'll be riddled with A's. You might score real high, but even if not, you'll sure be glad you played. If you're looking for prizes, just move along, there's no money for you to earn. You win by trying and doing your best, your prize is the stuff you learn. If you want to be an artiste, you have to know all you can about the world of art. So engage with this quiz, and at the end you'll say, I am smart.
I am not me. I am art. And I am your host for I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz. The quiz where people look to improve themselves and their art through learning. And strive to earn the right to say, yeah, baby, I am smart. The format of this quiz, very simple, very straightforward. Yeah, very straightforward. 3 rounds of questions for your brain, 3 musings for your imaginosphere, the 2-point bonus round at the end. We're looking at 20 points overall. That's your maximum. That's the goal. That's the 100%. Nobody's managed to do it so far. Maybe you'll be the first. All you're going to need to participate in this quiz, something to write with, something to write on. You want to go old school? You want to go pen and paper? Absolutely fantastic. You want to go new? You want to just go on your phone or a tablet of some kind? It's what the French call tablets. Then absolutely fine. Optional is a beverage, because whilst it has absolutely nothing to do with the actual quiz, we do like to engage in a common activity before the quiz begins, just to bring us all in as a single entity, a single quizable unit. Okay? So I hope you've all got your beverages at the ready. Here we go. To Taylor Swift, who this week broke up with longtime beau Joe Alwyn and taught us all that even the super talented, the super down to earth, and hey, I'll say it, the super cute, can't always find it so easy in the hunt for love. And so if even Taylor Swift's struggling to do it, what the heck chance is there for the rest of us? Cheers. Double dip for that first one. Gotta be a double dip for that. Cheers, clinking glasses to Taylor. Absolutely. A very spectacular lady. Very spectacularly talented lady. And one who, whilst I've never met her, I'm sure would absolutely approve of you spending your hard-earned money on myself. Thank you very much, Killer Kilch. That is very much appreciated. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Who have we got here? Hello, Smarties. Who's in the tube this evening? We've got TB Douglas. Hello to you. Cameraman George decided to show up. Not always a guarantee these days, but that's absolutely fantastic that he has decided to pop down the Rioja. JRPV20, hello, the high point scorer of last week, of course. JRPV20 returning to defend his crown. Supernash18, hello to you. SJBeck72, always a pleasure. Killer Kilch, of course. M. Acton, hi Smarties, sorry we have been MIA, missing in action, the last couple of weeks. Norfolk is shocking for internet and signal. I am aware of this. I did go on holiday once to Norfolk as a youngster, and whilst they have made some great progress in the realm of live entertainment and some of the most picturesque letterboxes you'll ever likely to see, it is largely a third world country up there. And they are still struggling with some of the most basic communities that you and I might take for granted. So that's absolutely fine, M. Acton. Got some lovely, lovely fields, though. Lovely, lovely fields. Stuart Seaton, hello to you. How is Jesus? Says Killer Kilch. Jesus is fantastic. Jesus is wonderful. Jesus, what's the story I can tell you about Jesus this week? Jesus recently... I ran out of my usual food, so I had to give him a different type of food. And it was a larger quantity of food, but with a lower nutritional value, so I had to give him quite a large amount of it. And I thought he might not be able to finish it all, but he did. Thanks very much for the question. As mentioned previously, let's get rid of all your lovely chats, but thank you. I say thank you for them. As I did mention, JRPV20 was the high point scorer of last week, and we're all very proud of him. Which means, of course, this week it gets to choose one of the rounds. Which rounds? Let me tell you right now. We've got Look Close, Haikus Day, Iconic Art, Nart, Alphabart, Red Herring, Gimme 5, Not Me Wood, Who Dat Artiste, Spotlight, Song Lyrics, and I know that voice. So JRPV20, at your leisure, please, which is American for leisure, please let us know which round we will definitely be playing. Another quick story about Jesus is that he, this week, I caught him staring off into the middle distance, and I did interpret that whilst there was no, of course, verbal communication between us, no verbal communication between us whatsoever, wonderful stuff, lovely emotes, I did really intuit, because I'm very good at intuiting from my own son, I did really intuit that he was pondering the concept of love, no doubt inspired by Taylor Swift's, of course, Tragic Circumstances this week. He's a deep guy. And he loves his food. So JRPV20 has gone for Song Lyrics. Fantastic choice. But what other two rounds are we going to be playing? Who knows? It was all down to the vicissitudes of Lady Luck. Let's see what she's got for us. Plus Song Lyrics, Spotlight, and I Know That Voice. Wow. That just gets more and more exciting every single week, and hotter as the temperature just insists on spiraling northward. We'll probably start there. We've obviously got that. That's great. And then what was the other one? It was Spotlight. Yeah, so maybe we'll finish there. Okay, that's good. So shall we get on with some quizzing, guys? Does anyone want to do some quizzing? I kind of feel like some quizzing. So let's, in the words of any number of quiz show hosts, let's quiz. Wonderful. I know that voice. Let's see what we've got. I think it's IKTV is the shortcut. There we go. So I'm going to play you 5 voice clips from Wired.com autocorrect interviews, because they give a lovely crisp audio that is not tainted at all by the laughter or reaction of any host or audience member. Some of the and you just need to let me know who each of these voices are. They will all be of famous artists. You just need to let me know who they are. There will be clues in terms of the quality of their voice, but also sometimes, if it's a maybe less distinct voice, in what they're saying. So make sure you're listening up. It'll become very obvious. Don't have that emoji. Why not kill a kill? Because some emotes are only available to high subscribers. So if you're subscribing at a higher tier, as TB Douglas very generously is, then you will have access to the full library. You'll have my face And for some people, though not all people, more importantly, you will have access to Jesus' face as well. But without further ado, let's get on with the first voice. Who is this?
The commonly known friendship that I have is with Sir Ian McKellen, whom I've worked with many times and who, I'll be frank with you, I'm in love with. But then so is my wife in love with him too, so that's all right.
Talk of a throuple there, so obviously a very forward-thinking, exotically minded artiste. I think that one was pretty easy, can I say? Yeah, I think that was pretty easy. Confident you all will have got that one. So let's move on to maybe slightly trickier ground. Yeah.
I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm a person who owns a tattoo gun and does tattoos, but there's no artistry involved. It was on Suicide Squad, we were doing squad tattoos on each other. We were spelling it SKWAD, and I forgot the K.
I'm going to give nothing away. Let's get on with voice number 3. And I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. It's the first one of 2023. Maybe a cause for celebration. I don't know, because of the, us heading headlong into summer. I'm going to remove my jacket because it's just untenable. Whilst you listen to voice number 3.
Some of them are my companies that I have on their own, Pride of Gypsies. Some are just personal ones. One is for someone who passed, who I love very much. A lot of these are for protection. Amakua, which is like your guardian. These are for protection of family, and they're the Ihe spears.
I didn't hear that person at all because I had my headphones off, but I assume it was relatively easy and straightforward. We're still only on number 3. I think there's maybe only a couple of tricky ones in this week. But we'll see. I mean, it's if you know them, you know them. And if you don't, if you don't know them, then you don't know them. Apologies for that. That was very unprofessional. We wouldn't get Terry Wogan doing that. Mabel Panda, hello to you. That one was tricky for me. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm keeping it tricky. Let's go on with number 4.
I became an actor at the ripe age of 8. I've always loved kind of performing in whatever capacity that was, dancing, singing, the whole lot. And I became an actor by just being bored on a Saturday, really. There's not much else to it.
Yeah. Having looked at the answers, number 3 isn't necessarily the easiest one in the world. And neither was that, actually. Again, I'm not going to give you any clues. You're just going to have to boldly try and push on with it. It's Maple Panda. Maybe you could get a glittery vest, not me. Maybe. I certainly need something. Maybe it's just a kind of a white T-shirt with just Quizmaster across the front. Something just to give you the. And this will stay back here, so you still got the glamour. You still got the glitz and glamour that does wow. It does dazzle. It does excite. Killer Kelch sounds like my friend Jane. I can confirm it's not your friend Jane. Final voice.
A real good question, and one I hesitated to ask because I didn't want to get kicked out of Breaking Bad. I didn't want them to rethink their choice. And Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, who wrote the character of Saul Goodman into the first script that he was in Breaking Bad, were both fans of Mr. Show, and both thought I was the guy to play the part. I don't know why.
Very self-deprecating. But who was it? There were some clues in terms of projects that artiste has been a part of. If you need to hear any of those again, please let me know. Whilst you're letting me know, if that is required, let's get on with that musing. Because, of course, questions aren't enough. We need musings, guys. We're testing our brain and we're testing our imaginosphere. So let's get on with it. Musing for I Know That Voice round is: on which show would you most like to be interviewed? There are many shows around the world that feature interviewers. On which show would you most like to be interviewed? Which show have you watched, have you seen, and thought, my word, that would just be an absolute dream to be interviewed on that show? And maybe it's not a show, maybe it's just a specific person you'd like to be interviewed by. Feel free to interpret this as wildly as you wish. Just interesting. And especially these days, with the advent of podcasts, maybe it's a podcast that you'd most like to be interviewed on. But I'd be interested, just to, again, this is one of those musings that just allows me a little window, a little insight into who these crazy cats are that are watching my show every week, aka the Smarties. Oh gosh, okay. Wonderful. Yes. Okay. Killer Kilch wants 3 and 4 played again. I am nothing if not a people pleaser, so here we go. Number 3.
Some of them are my companies that I have on their own, Pride of Gypsies. Some are just personal ones. One is for someone who passed, who I love very much. A lot of these are for protection. Amakua, which is like your guardian. These are for protection of family, and they're the Ihe spears.
Difficult, isn't it? Difficult. And then number 4.
I became an actor at the ripe age of 8. I've always loved kind of performing in whatever capacity that was, dancing, singing, the whole lot. And I became an actor by just being bored on a Saturday, really. There's not much else to it.
Still sounds quite young to me. That's all I'm giving you. We're going back to Maine. We've done one round. One round complete. Congratulations. Here we go. What a wonderful round that was. What are we doing for the next round? Super irritating too, says Killer Kilch. Maybe there's a clue in there as well. It depends on how you view various artistes. I personally love them all. I like celebrating them in whichever way I can, including a little way like this. Absolutely fabulous segue there. If I can just take I think we should take a moment just to think about that. Again, that's just improv. That's not written down. That's just bow, 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 bow. It's one of life's great pleasures. Impressing yourself. This is a spotlight round where we shine a spotlight on a particular artiste and we find out how much you know about them. Because if you're in the biz, if you are an artiste, you need to know about the other artists, okay? You need to be complimentary about their work so that they'll be complimentary about your work. It's how the world goes round. But as ever, it is tradition round these here parts. Anytime we are shining a spotlight on a particular artiste, we must first shine a spotlight on a different artiste. It was spotlight we were doing, yes. It's, of course, your favourite of mine. Your favourite and absolutely mine as well. The wonder that is. It's Miss Lucy Liu. How are you, Lucy? How are you doing today? Lucy is fabulous. Have you recovered slightly from the disappointing box office performance of Shazam! Fury of the Gods? Babam! Puree of the Butts. Yes. Lucy says it was a paycheck job and she wasn't particularly invested in it after all. Which is it's nice honesty, I think. Sometimes we get that suspicion and it's never really confirmed by the actors involved. But I say it's testament to you and your strength, Lucy, that you're comfortable doing that. That you're strong enough to really stand up and mix things up a little bit. Fantastic. Do you like the fact that this is your round now? That the spotlight round is essentially the Lucy Liu spotlight round. Do you enjoy that? You do, because you like spotlighting artists as well. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice that Lucy likes to spotlight artists as well. She's so fair. She's so fair. Is there anyone that you'd like to spotlight? Oh, there is. Lucy would like to spotlight Brendan Fraser. Very quickly. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Obviously an Oscar winner now. Well respected. It was a lovely story this year, wasn't it, when Brendan Fraser won the Oscar. It's kind of a real redemption story, real comeback story. He's gone through some tough times, as we all do from time to time. So it's lovely to see him really kind of climb back onto that mountain. Did you enjoy The Whale? She did. It's not your favorite Brendan Fraser performance. Okay, so what other performances are we talking about? I don't remember that one, Lucy. The Story of a Flatulent Dinosaur. What? I don't think Brendan Fraser's ever been in a film. Who else was in it? Alicia Silverstone. About a flatulent dinosaur. Are you talking about Blast from the Past, Lucy? She finds that so funny, guys. She finds that so funny. Such a filthy sense of humour, Lucy. Such a filthy sense of humour. No, tell me about another performance of his, please. The story of a man with a very sensitive stomach walking home after a curry. I don't remember such a film from Brendan Fraser. Who else was in it? Benicio del Toro and Don Cheadle. It's quite a recent one, wasn't it? What was it called? A man with a sensitive stomach walking home after having a curry. No Sudden Move. This doesn't reflect well on you, Lucy. Anything else? The third one is the TV performances. Yes, he's very good at TV performances. A guest starring role. What TV show is about a man cleaning his underwear after following through? Scrubs. Scrubs, the underwear. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Lucy. Gosh, I just can't stay mad at her. She's so fair. She's so fair, even though she does have such a filthy sense of humour. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for shining a spotlight on Brendan Fraser. Honestly, if she wasn't such a goddamn beaut. But we're not shining people not happy. Cameraman George liked Shazam. A lot of people like Shazam, yeah. I think it's a little bit unfair that it's been yanked out of cinemas already. I think that's a little bit of a shame. But very excited to see it when it hits HBO Max in what must be a couple of weeks now. Terrible stuff from Lucy. But we are focusing on somebody else. And somebody that I know that you all love. How do I know that you all love them? Because they were a finalist in the recent Notme Tournament of Champions about acting. It's the best boy actor in the world. It is, of course, the wonderful Mr. Alan Rickman, the late, great Alan Rickman. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. That slight smile that just says, I know more than you. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful man. He's dead now, but still. Let's find out how much we know about Alan J. Rickman. I'm not sure that that's his middle initial. I'm just intuiting. Question number 1. As we're already in half past. Lucy does take up a bit of time, doesn't she? My word, Lucy Lou. What was happening there? Question number 1. On whose character does Alan Rickman's character cheat in Love Actually? Read this again. Really think about what I am asking here. On whose character does Alan Rickman's character cheat in Love Actually? What am I asking for here? What am I asking for here? M. Acton, OMG, it's Alan Rickman, the man we love to hate. We do. We love to hate them. Because we do, of course, secretly kind of love his bad boy characters, don't we? The bad boy Alan Rickman. We secretly love his characters. Even ones that cheat. We think, oh, Alan, you're a classic fool. But I'd probably still go for a drink with you. There it is. I've said it. Question number 2. Alan Rickman won Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild, and Emmy Awards for playing which Russian in the miniseries Dark Servant of Destiny? Oh, that's an interesting question, isn't it? That is an interesting question. I will just say for any non-subscribers, there may be an advert starting fairly soon. But if you need to hear any of the questions again by the end of the round, you just let me know. Number 3. Which rhyming adjective was used to describe Marvin the Android, the character voiced by Alan Rickman in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? It's a rhyming adjective. And I'll even let you know which one it is. Well, will I? No. Let's challenge you. You guys deserve to be, It's the integrity of the quiz, I suppose. That's what I'm worried about if I make it too easy. Which rhyming adjective? Question number 4. Alan Rickman was described as sublime at giving us a glimpse at last into the secret nurturing heart that masks with a sneer while playing which role? Alan Rickman was described as sublime at giving us a glimpse at last into the secret nurturing heart that masks with a sneer while playing which role? There are a lot of sneers across the career of Alan Rickman. His was a sneer-heavy career. Sneer. But which one was described in this particular way? I mean, IMHO, one man's opinion and all that, but I would say one of the finest sneerers that we've yet seen on the screen. You can go back to the, 30s, the 20s, right the way to the present day. If you're making your list of the top cinematic sneerers, Ricker's right near the top of that list. As I say, IMHO. And the final question, a little bit of a sad one here, but it is interesting to learn about the real lines, the real artiste behind the roles here. Alan Rickman was afflicted with 2 types of cancer in his life. Name either of them. He had cancer early 2000s, I believe, maybe 2010s. Beat it. Then a different cancer came back and unfortunately did claim his life. And robbed us all of one of the greats. Hashtag that's so cancer. Either of those types of cancer I will accept for that all-important point. I believe the advert is finished. So do let me know if you need to hear any of those questions again as we go for this musing. Alan Rickman, of course, known for his wonderful voice. But which famous phrase or slogan would you most like to hear Alan Rickman perform in his rich, dulcet tones? Any phrase, any slogan. You win some kind of competition, maybe? Back when he was still alive, he has agreed to record any phrase or slogan for your sonic pleasure. What phrase or slogan are you going for? Which phrase or slogan are you going for? Nobody needs to hear any questions again. That's good. That's good. That's the end of the round, guys. Wow, 2 out of 3 already. 2 out of 3 already. That was a quick one, because now it's only 16:35. Where I am in the world, where you are in the world, it will be something else 35. That's the magic of time zones. We've got 1 round left, which, of course, was the round picked by last week's high point scorer. It is, of course, JRPV20. Let's get singing. Song lyrics. Little siren out the out the window there. That does not have any lyrics to it other than I really think I need to move soon. Because just the audio quality when I'm doing these shows and when I'm recording video in my studio, Notme Studios, if I can call it such a thing, is often tarnished by the awful noises coming from outside. Is it song lyrics? Or is it just lyrics? Just lyrics. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Whoa! Killer Kilch! Spreading the love there. Everybody, can we please get some thank yous and some well dones and some congratulations to Killer Kilch, who has just gifted a tier 1 sub to JRPV20. You get the high point score. People just want to see you succeed. What a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic gesture. Thank you so much, Killer Kilch. And it's absolutely wonderful. I want those emojis. Whether that's done in this way or another way, I just couldn't tell you. I don't know enough about Twitch. But fingers crossed that gets you closer. Double-digit subbies. Double-digit subbies. JRPV20's happy about that. Of course he is. Doesn't need to watch any of those pesky adverts anymore. So what subject do we have on these lyrics? I'm going to give you some song lyrics. You just need to tell me what the next line is. What you can also do is give me what the song title is. The trick is, it's both the same thing. So the next lyric will always be the title of the song in the song lyrics round, just to make it a little bit easier. A little bit easier. What type of songs are we listening to today? 20th century movie musicals. That will be music to some people's ears, and to other people it'll just be, oh God, which is absolutely fine. A lot of them should be fairly recognizable to even the most eye-rolly of movie musical viewers. Let's start off with the first one, and if you don't get this one, you might just want to go home. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Once again, where troubles melt like lemon drops high above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. What's the next line? / what's the title of the song? As we go back to sneer, is such a brilliant word. Very idiophonic, I think. Lovely word. Lovely word when talking about another lovely word. Double lovely word. Lovely word squared. Also just reminded Stuart Seaton and I of Cyril Sneer and that fab 90s raccoon TV show. Anyone else remember it? You're gonna run with us. We got everything you need. Run with us. We are free. Ha, ha, ha. Come with us. I see passion in your eyes. No, I don't remember actually. Croc points for movies. Absolutely. A lot of great stuff going on in the chat there. Really pleased to see it all. Set of lyrics number 2. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true. Nothing left. Nothing left for me to do. What's the name of that song? Or, what's the next line? As I say, as I keep on saying, I can't repeat it enough seemingly. It's the same thing. What I'm not looking for here, I will say, what I'm not looking for is the title of the movie, which is what Killer Kilch was talking about. Absolutely. If you can name the movie musicals that these come from, they will give you croc points. What are croc points? I'm so flippin' glad you said. Croc points are awarded when people can give more information than is required by a question. The points don't count towards your official quiz tally, but they will make you feel confident and effortlessly cool, like you've just slipped on a pair of Crocs. So yeah, if you got the title of the films, please give yourself some Croc points. We'll go through them along with the answers. Number 3. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. Ignore that music from outside. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with... What's your heart going to be blessed with? What's your heart going to be blessed with? That's what I'm curious about. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I'll hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with. If you want a real point, give me the next line. If you want a crock point, you tell me what the film is. Number 4. Free to be anything you choose. Free to wait tables and shine shoes. Everywhere grime in. I'll read that one again. Free to be anything you choose. Free to wait tables and shine shoes. Everywhere grime in. New York City? I mean, technically that statement would be correct. Is there a musical song called New York City? Is this talking about the style of music? It's popular in the UK. Guys, it's just not for me to say. I'm the question master, yeah? Not the helper dude. And number 5, final set of lyrics, final question of the quiz. My word, it goes quickly, doesn't it? And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing. A lot of people do like a dance. A lot of people do like a dance. The combination of physical movement with rhythm of the song does just make people feel good. Is that the title of the song? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Thank you, Maple Panda. Maple Panda can always be relied upon for some absolutely fantastic emote work. Really, really good. TB Douglas, I thought I was going to be all over this round. Apparently not. Killer Kilch, same. Apologies. Let's go through them again quite quickly. Just to double check. So I don't think it's maybe as difficult as you're making it out to be. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Easy. You better shape up. You better understand. To my heart I must be true. There's nothing left. Nothing left for me to do. Easy. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with... Maybe a little bit tricky. Sure. Free to be anything you choose. Free to wait tables and shine shoes. Everywhere grime in... Where? Everywhere grime in where? And number 5. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing. If you can get the title of the musical for this one, you get a size 12 crock point. And the musing, you all know the format of this musing. It's time to get your songwriting credentials all over the place. It is, of course, complete this lyric. Complete these lyrics. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. You know me, I love a love song. I love a love song. That's what we're doing here. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. Beyond compare. What's the second half of that lyric? Why don't you just go ahead and let me know? And that's the end. That's it. That's the end of the rounds. All of the questions done, all of the musings done. And you know what, guys? I don't say this enough, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting out here, for saying, do you know what? It's Sunday. Maybe it's Sunday morning, wherever you are. Maybe it's Sunday afternoon. Maybe it's Sunday night. But you're rounding off the week, not resting on your laurels. You're not saying, I know everything I think I need to know about art and the world around it. You're saying, no, I want to be more. I want to be better. And that starts here. That starts with learning. And when you want to learn in a creative fashion, this is where you come. You've recognized that. And I give you all the respect in the world. All the respect in the world, okay? So thank you. I don't really know where I was going with that, but I just felt moved. And sometimes when I feel moved, I get complimentary. And if you want to be complimentary in return, please feel free to drop your best compliments in the chat. So let's get on with some answers here. What was the first round we did? IKTV. Let's get on with it. Whoa. We watched that last week, didn't we? Oh, it's because I was going to... Yeah, okay. So I'm going to... Where is the thing? Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down there. Okay. So we're going to go to black. Then we're going to go to I Know That Voice. Here we are. We've got amusing, of course. On which show would you most like to be interviewed? And I want you to interpret that as personally as possible. This is about getting to know you guys. Getting to know all about you. Something for the musical round there. But don't say it out loud. Make sure you get it in the chat. Yeah, make sure you get it in the chat. On which show would you most like to be interviewed? And again, I will say, I think I've mentioned this before, but I think it does bear repeating, that if you don't write amusing down in the chat, you don't get the point. It's that simple. I cannot be more clear about that. If you know, I mean, whatever you write will be great and will count, but if you write nothing, it doesn't count. I don't think that's unfair of me to say. So, as TB says, get it in the chat. Okay, as we go through the answers to these. Answer number one.
The commonly known friendship that I have is with Sir Ian McKellen, whom I've worked with many times and who, I'll be frank with you, I'm in love with. But then so is my wife in love with him too, so that's all right.
Obs, right? Sir Patrick Stewart. He mentioned Sir Ian McKellen there. Do you think they used the titles when they talk to each other? Would you like a cup of tea, Sir Ian? Oh, yes, I would, Sir Patrick. Oh, happen I would. Oh, lovely. Maybe. I think I would insist on that if I was a Knight of the Realm. And it's not about building myself up, it's just the truth. I'm a sir, so call me sir. Number two.
I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm a person who owns a tattoo gun and does tattoos, but there's no artistry involved. On Suicide Squad, we were doing squad tattoos on each other. We were spelling it SKWAD, and I forgot the K.
So just to summarise that anecdote, it was, of course, Margot Robbie. Plays the character of Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. She was doing tattoos for people involved with the Suicide Squad movie. They were already spelling the word wrong. SKWAD. Already spelling it wrong. And so it's a real interesting decision to get a deliberately poorly spelled word emblazoned onto your flesh until the end of time. But what makes it even worse, she left out a K on one of them. So it's just SWAD, which I don't know for sure, but I'd be willing to bet is some kind of unseemly acronym that you just wouldn't want to be associated with. Well done if you got that one right. Here's some of the tricky ones. So that's getting a little bit tricky from number three. Here's number three. Talking about tattoos. Talking about what sound like Polynesian words. What do we think?
Some of them are my companies that I have on their own, Pride of Gypsies. Some are just personal ones. One is for someone who passed who I love very much. A lot of these are for protection. Amakua, which is like your guardian. These are for protection of family, and they're the Ihe spears.
Jason Momoa, the enormous, terrifying, but incredibly friendly by all accounts, Polynesian. Lovely stuff. Well done if you got that one right. And then number four, we've established she's young. Killer Kilch says she sounds very annoying. Let's see if that helps anybody out.
I became an actor at the ripe age of 8. I've always loved kind of performing in whatever capacity that was, dancing, singing, the whole lot. And I became an actor by just being bored on a Saturday, really. There's not much else to it.
Millie Bobby Brown, of course, plays 11. Wonderfully plays 11 in the fantastic television show Stranger Things. We'll leave it there. Number 5, the final one of this round. Maybe a difficult to recognize voice, but there's a couple of clues in the shows that he's talking about.
A real good question, and one I hesitated to ask because I didn't want to get kicked out of Breaking Bad. I didn't want them to rethink their choice. And Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, who wrote the character of Saul Goodman into the first script that he was in Breaking Bad, were both fans of Mr. Show, and both thought I was the guy to play the part. I don't know why.
Mr. Show, of course, it was the wonderful Mr. Bob Odenkirk. You want to talk about a down-to-earth guy? Gosh, I'd enjoy going for a pint with him. That would be wonderful, just to pick his brain and hear his lovely Midwestern accent. Star of Mr. Show, the sketch show. He was also a writer on Saturday Night Live, I believe, maybe The Simpsons, before he stepped in front of the camera. And then, of course, Better Call Saul came along. Lovely chap. Well done if you got that one right. That was probably the trickiest one. Let's get on with some of these musings. On which show would you most like to be interviewed? Let's have a look. Lovely set of answers here. T.B. Douglas, The Drew Barrymore Show. Yeah. Seems to be slightly insane. Slightly. In the way that you like. But lovely. I imagine I'd have a breakdown on TV and then we'd become best friends. She would recognize it. She would recognize that pain. I wonder whether people like the Drew Barrymores of this world, who have gone through such tumult in their early years, whether they don't necessarily trust somebody who's completely on the level and just has had it easy their whole life. Maybe you need a little bit of something going on for them to really connect. Possibly, but she does seem like a lovely person. And honestly, when it's raining, you just stay the heck out of her way, because she enjoys it more than I think it's logical to. Killer Kelly Clarkson, the Kelly Clarkson Show, absolutely. For the non-Americans out there, Kelly Clarkson was, of course, the first winner of American Idol and has since gone on to establish herself with the Kelly Clarkson Show, which is a daytime television staple. So big, I imagine, amongst the student population and the unemployed. Finally, a US talk show that will give you alcoholic beverages. That's what Killer Kilch is after, and that's absolutely fine. Some people require that little bit of liquor, that little bit of alcoholica, to really just smooth things out and to get them feeling like they're able to really let loose and have a fantastically entertaining conversation. And Kelly would be there for you. And if you want, you could get involved with Kellyoke. She always sings a song because she is, of course, a fantastic singer. And if you're going to do a talk show, but you're also a great singer, just say, you know what, I'm just going to sing a song because that's what people want from me. Wonderful choice, Killer. Lovely. Super Nash 18, Just Wogan. Just Wogan. Don't need to hear anything else. Just Wogan, of course, the late, great, the wonderful Mr. Terry Wogan. I imagine it would be a lovely, gentle, warm chat. You do see these wonderful, wonderful clips sometimes circulate on the social media of television talk shows of the 70s and 80s. And they are not at all like the chat shows of today. It is just a couple of old dudes in suits, smoking sometimes, and just having a chat, getting a real in-depth conversation. Sometimes people will slag other people off because they just don't care. It's not as precisely monitored by PR departments and marketing departments of films and movies and TV show and songs as it is these days. It's a little bit more freewheeling, and it has a lot more kind of a sense of jazz that you would hope from a television conversation. Of course, though, what you do lose with Wogan, what you do lose with those some older interview shows is having a game, maybe playing a bit of beer pong or something to do with remote control cars or popping balloons. You're not going to get that with Wogan. So if that's what you're into, maybe stick more with your Jimmys, your Fallons, your Kimmels. Lovely stuff. Stuart Seaton, TFI Friday. It was just a lot of drinks and live bands. Yeah, it really was just a party, wasn't it? TFI Friday. And I love the fact that the camera would just pop out of the main interview space into what seemed to be like a warehouse or pit. just full of crazy people having a lot of fun, listening to some live music, and when sometimes I think what really sold the TFI Friday for me, again for the Americans, was hosted by a guy called Chris Evans. No, not that Chris Evans, not the Captain America one. He's a ginger man who is very, very rich, but this is slightly before that, before he got super duper rich, and he was the host of TFI Friday, and he had wild and crazy ginger hair. So you just take one look at his hair and you think, I'm in for a wild, crazy, potentially ginger time. Absolutely fantastic. Lovely, lovely. Cameraman George, it's got to be. Not even hearing some other suggestions there from Cameraman George. Got to be the Graham Norton Show. I love the random collection of people and everyone seems to have fun. Yeah, it does have that alchemy to it, doesn't it? It does have that alchemy that you can have maybe the biggest movie star in the world. You can have Tom Cruise and he's sitting there next to Josh Widdicombe, a stand-up comedian from the US who... as the fact that you haven't heard from him, people in the US, means that he hasn't made the leap across the pond. He's very much a localized comedian, very funny chap, but why is he sitting next to Tom Cruise? It's almost like when you have friends from two different groups coming together and meeting, and you think, this is wrong, we're crossing the streams somehow here. This is worlds colliding, and it doesn't really make sense. But it does with Graham Norton, because, if we can go back to Kelly Clarkson, they're all pretty drunk. Lovely stuff. Maple Panda, The Last Leg. I love that show. Josh Widdicombe again. That wasn't planned. That's just a wonderful happenstance. Absolutely. Josh Widdicombe and the other one, and the other one as well. Yeah, fantastic show. Quite right on, and absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be. Yeah, that's a great shout. And there's, again, a little bar in the corner, I believe. A little bar in the corner. Yeah, that's a great shout, Maple Panda. Love that show as well. Acton, I'd like Louis Theroux to follow me around for the day. Here we go. I feel like he'd make even those mundane tasks, like pairing freshly laundered socks, seem way more life-affirming than it really is. That's the power of Louis Theroux. That's the power of Louis Theroux, that he just brings that ordinariness as a foil to some of the crazy people that he speaks to. Yeah, they seem even crazier because he's not something crazy. He's not bananas. He's not jumping through, He's just Louis. Hi, I'm Louis from the BBC. Louis. Hi, I'm Louis. And what's going on here? What are you doing? Okay. That's Louis Theroux. And he just brings, who wouldn't love to be interviewed by Louis Theroux? That's wonderful. That's lovely stuff. Oh, JRPV20. JRPV20. I would like to be interviewed on The Big Breakfast to say I'd been on the bed with Paula Yates, but more for The Big Breakfast that I assume they give to all their guests. Yes. So Big Breakfast, again, for the Americans out there. Gosh, I'm explaining a lot of things for you guys. The Big Breakfast was a breakfast TV show from like 6 in the morning until... that's 7 until 9. It wasn't even 6, yeah. Just from 7 until 9, 2 hours. It was wild, just anarchic, chaotic. The hosts... obviously you knew who they were, but then you also knew about all the crew members on the show because they all had nicknames. There were some wonderful segments. My word, if they ever brought it back, I would... Gosh, I'd be so sad if they didn't ask me to be a part of it. I really would. My word, I'd enjoy that. But yes, Paula Yates would interview people on the bed, including Michael Hutchence, who she then went on to have a very torrid love affair with. She was very flirty. But also, yeah, maybe they would just actually get a big breakfast to all their guests. And if you can have a quiz show, a talk show, be interviewed, and have a fantastic breakfast, that's just a heck of a morning. That's a heck of a morning. Killer Kilch, she'd kneel and hug your face. Not sure what that's in relation to, but I love it out of context. Nearly won £100,000. Nearly won 100,000 on Wogan's Perfect Recall quiz show back in 2008. Gambled and lost. Boo, but Wogan gave me a lovely hug for consolation. What? Absolutely fantastic. Nearly won 100,000. My gosh. Nearly won £100,000, but you got a hug from Wogan. right? You've really got to weigh that up. Adam Hills and Alex Brooker, fantastic. Thank you, Maple Panda. That's lovely. Yes, on the last leg. M. Acton, loved the Graham Norton episode with June Brown and Lady Gaga. That's another one. Soap star, wonderful June Brown. Just doesn't look right without a fag on and, in the laundrette. And Lady Gaga, international singing superstar. Bonding, having fun. They shouldn't be talking, but they are. Thank you, Graham. Brilliant impression. I am not me, I am art. Thank you so much. Ryan Reynolds and Greg Davis. All of these fantastic... everybody's loving Graham Norton. They just sold the Big Breakfast House. You should have bought it 4.3 mil. I think that's a little bit out of my price range. Only by about 4.297 million. Close though. Close. I would love to buy that. That would be fantastic. I'd watch anything with Ryan Reynolds. That's what the hearts were for. Maple Panda loves a bit of Ryan Reynolds. A little slab of Canadian bacon. Killer Kilch must go feed my family. I've just woken up from naps. I'm going to give myself 10 points. Speak to you soon, Smarties. Bye. Okay, well, fantastic. Thank you very much, Killer Kilch. Gosh, points all round, guys. Points all round. If you put a musing down there, points all round. That was good. That maybe lasted longer than it should have done. But I was just enjoying it, and I'm not going to apologise for that. What do we have next? Oh, of course, Spotlight. Musing here. Which famous phrase or slogan would you most like to hear Alan Rickman perform in his rich, beautiful dulcet tones? Was he ever on Graham Norton? Helen Mirren says Alan Rickman will be proud of his final film, so that was after he was dead, unfortunately. Worst ever guest on his talk show. I don't think he was. My gosh. I'd have enjoyed seeing that. Quite a lot. Let's go on with the red chair. That's my Rickman, so you got that to look forward to with all of these slogans. Question number 1. On whose character does Alan Rickman's character cheat in Love Actually? It is, of course, Emma Thompson. Why did you do it, Alan? Why did you do it? For that Germanic strumpet. Just because she opened her legs a little bit and has very big eyes. Why did you do it, Alan? Then she listens to the Joni Mitchell song and then we all die. Question number 2. Alan Rickman won Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild and Emmy Awards for playing which Russian in the miniseries Dark Servant of Destiny? There's not a lot of Russians out there that I could have realistically expected you to be able to recall. One of the few of them is, of course, Grigory Rasputin. If you've just written Rasputin, you know who I was talking about, so give yourself the point. Well done if you did get that, because that was pretty tricky. Which rhyming adjective was used to describe Marvin the Android, the character voiced by Alan Rickman in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? It's a lovely film. Martin Freeman, Sam Rockwell, Mos Def. It was, of course, Paranoid. Marvin the Paranoid Android. It rhymes. So the question is legitimate. Well done if you got that one right. And if you didn't actually just know it from knowing about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Alan Rickman was described as sublime, as giving us a glimpse at last into the secret nurturing heart that, of course, Professor Severus Snape masks with a sneer. Played it in all of the Harry Potter films and made, I would imagine, a B-load of cash from it. And why not? Deserves it. Talking of things that he didn't deserve, Alan Rickman was afflicted with 2 types of cancer in his life. Again, that's a fantastic segue. And it's not belittling cancer, it's just utilising the information presented to kind of move forward seamlessly. That's excellent. Name either of them. It was, of course, prostatic and pancreatic. So prostate cancer and pancreatic cancer. Pancreatic cancer. Prostatic isn't often referred to as prostatic, just says prostate cancer. But he got prostate cancer, beat it, got pancreatic cancer. succumbed to it, unfortunately. So well done if you got any of those right. 1 point, of course, for all of those correct answers. Each, rather. Which famous phrase or slogan would you most like to hear Alan Rickman perform in his rich, dulcet tones? Super Nash went 8. Oh, goes to the Terminator. Absolutely. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. A lot of it's in the M's. Mr. Potter, motorcycle. Love it. I mean, what a Terminator he would have made. What a Terminator he would have made. You want to talk about logic? That's a logical move. Move over O.J. Simpson, the original Terminator. Move over Arnold Schwarzenegger, the one who really, made it famous. Move over Robert Patrick. Move over Christiana Loken. Move over all the other ones. There's a lot of them that have since played it. Yeah, get Rickers in there. Get Rickers in there. Why not? T.B. Douglas. What have you got this one from? Brisk, brave brigadiers brandish broad, bright blades, blunderbusses and bludgeons, balancing them badly. It's not a great Rickman, I will say. It's not a great Rickman. But if I did, I think you'd probably get... I think he's probably doing Rickman, and that's all I'm asking for. I'm not an impressionist, I'm just a guy with a lot of creativity and a lot of heart. Just trying to do my best. Lovely TB. I don't know what that was, but I'm excited. Stuart Seaton, kids and grown-ups love it so. The Happy World of Haribo. Happy World of Haribo. Would it have sounded happy? I just don't know. That's great. That's nice. JRPV20, I'd like to hear Alan read the classified Football League results on a Saturday afternoon so that his mildly disappointed tone makes every team, win or lose, feel compelled to do better the following week. So now we're thinking about a positive use for this. Now we're thinking practically, and I appreciate that, JRPV. Newport Town 6, Oldham Athletic 0. And the Oldham team would go, gosh, Rick is really, really disappointed with us this week. Rick has expected better from Oldham Athletic. Gosh, we're Oldham Athletic guys. We're the Latics. I don't know if that's their nickname. We're the Oldies. That's lovely. That's lovely. We're taking what was just a frivolous musing and we're thinking practically about it, and I respect that. Maple Panda, he could have read out the ridiculous reality stars autobiogs and the big fat quiz of the year would be better than Charles Dance. I mean, there's not a lot of people that would be better than Charles Dance. But, I mean, Rickman, in some ways, just from being dead, because, of course, when people die, as we see on the news all the time, they just become better people. People close to the deceased describe them as an absolute joy to ever. Did they describe them that when they were alive, or is it just since they've died? So Rickers just gets that edge on Dance for me. M. Acton, I'd like to see Alan Rickman say "mind the gap" every time I'm on the tube. That's great, because then that means Rickman is with us all the time. Rickman is with us every time, very much in the style of Professor Severus Snape. Even if we think that he's just... Yes. To hear Alan Rickman as the voice of the Mind the Gap on the London Underground. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. You think, oh, he's just kind of being a bit mean and a bit grumpy. But no. He's trying to protect us all. Just as Snape did to Harry Potter. Excellent work, M. Acton. Excellent work. And points all round. Points all round. We're finally getting to the final round, which was, of course, song lyrics. Song lyrics amusing. Here we go. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. Just get into the chat, guys. You know the deal. You know the deal by now. You know the deal by now. As we go through the answers to these. If you didn't do very well on this round, I think you might kick yourself. Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Somewhere over... I think I'm singing the ukulele version there, which is not necessarily, it's not the Judy Garland version, but it's the one that popped into my head. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, of course, from The Wizard of Oz. Number 2, You Better Shape Up. You better understand. To my heart I must be true. Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Who, honey. From Greece, of course. Sung by Olivia Newton-John. She's dead now, of course, but still. Number 3, I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music. You had a little clue with the hills there, even if you weren't sure of it. And this is, of course, you don't get the croc points for this because the sound of the song is, of course, the name of the song is the name of the movie musical as well. Absolutely tongue-tied here. My marble's full of mouth. Number 4. Free to be anything you choose. Free to wait tables and shine shoes. Everywhere grime in America. 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 Easy to buy guns in America. Everything supersized in terms of fast food in America. They sell melty cheese that's not actually cheese, so it doesn't need to be refrigerated in America. All of the wonder of America there. From, of course, West Side Story. Number 5, the final one. And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Written by Irving Berlin, the wonderful Irving Berlin. For the movie musical Top Hat, which is one of those classic ones with Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, and some outdated gender roles. So completely 1 point for each of those that you got right. Congratulations to all of those that you did get right. Or congratulations to you, I suppose. More than the questions. I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. Some say you're a scruff bag, but I think you're debonair. That's lovely, TB. That is lovely, TB. Because I don't think... I mean, it's always good with any kind of song, any kind of art, really. Any kind of art. It's wonderful to do something for the first time. To do something that's never been done before. And in my humble opinion, I don't believe that there's ever been a song that contains the phrase scruff bag. I think you're a scruff bag. Some say, rather, you're a scruff bag, but I think you're debonair. Because that's a lovely sentiment of love, because love is, of course, as we all know, it's slightly, it skews our vision. Every wedding that there has ever been has described the bride as the most beautiful person in the world. Obviously, that's not true. We all know that, but we enter into it because the love that groom has for that bride, she is the most beautiful woman in the world to him. Yeah? And in this, it's like, here's a scruff bag. To the world, you're a scruff bag. To the world, you're down on your luck, unkempt beard, hair unkempt all over the place. Or, hey, can we just maybe challenge some stereotypes right now? It's not an unkempt beard. It's an unkempt head of hair. Fingernails painted, but they're kind of chipped. Yeah, that's right. It's the woman who's seen as the scruff bag. I'm not going to apologize for it. It's the woman who's seen as the scruff bag. But the man who loves her, or woman, I suppose, says, no, I think they're debonair. I think that's a debonair woman. Now, if there is chipped fingernail polish, unkempt hair, perhaps some facial hair going on. I mean, we were talking about beards before. Maybe there's some facial hair going on. Maybe clothes with rips in them. Shoes held together with gaffer tape. then if somebody's still describing that person as debonair, we have to at least entertain the possibility that that person doesn't actually know what debonair means. But that's fine, because it's not preventing their love. Lovely stuff, TB. Lovely, lovely work. Maple Panda, wonderful. Cheek to Cheek, our wedding song. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, Maple Panda. That's lovely. I'm glad that I could take you back to that wedding. I'm sure the bride in this relationship was referred to as the most beautiful person in the world. And do you know what? To one person they were. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Acton, you know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. I adore your violet-tinted specs, your rugged beard and tufty hair. Stop. Gosh, I'm going to read that once more, because it's made my heart grow 2 sizes, Grinch style. And my heart was already pretty big, enlarged style, elephant style. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. I adore your violet-tinted specs, rugged beard, and maybe take a little bit of offence at tufty hair. I mean, it's not as thick and rich as it once was, but would we go tufty? But still, the sentiment is absolutely appreciated. Acton, wonderful. I might just write that down on a post-it note later today. Just stick it on my monitor so I can look at that and remind me to do a more thorough job brushing my hair. Cameraman George, I'd visit you wherever you are, even Delaware. Little bit of shade toward Delaware there from Cameraman George. I've never been. If George has, I would obviously have to bow to his superior experience in that regard. But I would say that Delaware is... No, it's not, is it? I was going to say that's where President Biden's from. Or is he from... He's from Scranton, isn't he? Who's from Delaware? Excuse me, sorry. Famous people from Delaware. Jack Markle, John Carney, Caesar Rodney, Beau Biden. Oh, Beau Biden. So that's okay. Elizabeth Shue, the beautiful Elizabeth Shue. Valerie Bertinelli, don't know who that is. Aubrey Plaza, wonderful. Ryan Felipe, wonderful. George Thorogood, yes. Terry Polo, wonderful. Eleanor Deladon, the basketball player. Doug Hutchison. Judge Reinhold, his first name's Judge, guys. Hunter Biden, so the other Bidens are from there. Why would you not start with Joe Biden? Maybe that's just where he lives now. Maybe that's just where he lives there. There's a guy called David Sills, who looks to have a slightly vacant smile and a neck the same width as his head, so I'm going to assume American football player. John Gallagher Jr., John P. Marquand, Bill Press, David Weigel, Jim Thompson, all the big ones. Roxanne Modafferi, Vinnie Moore, Duron Harmon, Pierre S. Dupont, Patrick Kerr, who plays Noel Shempsky on Frasier. There we go. So Delaware might be, disparaged by Cameraman George, but has produced some of this country's finest exports. Lovely stuff though, George. Always appreciate you making that extra effort with your musings. JRPV20, I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. You'll be my love conductor, and we can totes fanfare. Oh, just the phrase love conductor. Outstanding, JRPV20. Sounds like something that Robert Palmer would write. Love conductor. It's a little bit salacious, but my God, it's intriguing. Maple Panda, I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. I can't deny, though, it's great when you get out of my hair. Maple Panda really showing us the 2 sides of a relationship there. Because love is not all fun and games. We learned that from Taylor Swift, yeah? We learned that from Taylor. One of the many lessons we've learned from Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Excellent work there, Maple Panda. Stuart Seaton, here we go. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. I would even sit on glass for you when there is no chair. Stuart Seaton, I mean, in one of the purest and most extreme forms of expressions of love that I can imagine, is risking a lacerated bumhole. A lacerated bumhole. Yeah, I'll say it a third time. A lacerated bumhole for his love. Are we going to top that? Let's see. Super Nashwan 8, I know you know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. But get away from my cheesecake. You know Joey don't share. We love Friends references on this show, guys. Because I live in New York, so I kind of get Friends now. In a way that a lot of people just don't really get Friends. But I get Friends now. Because I live in New York, so like when they eat pizza, I'm like, I kind of get that now. Because New York people love pizza. And when they eat pizza, they don't love to share pizza. Like Joey, like in the song Super Nashwan 8. Mwah! Thank you. Points all round, guys. What a wonderful, wonderful round that was. It's always a joy going through these lyrics. Always a joy. You know I love you, baby. To me, you're beyond compare. But get away from my cheesecake. You know the Joey don't share. It's Joey Tribbiani from the sitcom Friends. I haven't finished it yet, so don't tell me how it ends. If you know how it ends, keep that knowledge undercover. And then I'll appreciate that, and then we'll fall in love, and then that'll be How I Met Your Mother. It's another sitcom. This love song's about sitcoms that are all American. It all got a little bit, but the first bit was good. Let's go back to main, guys. We've got all the points that we could get. So let's count up the points. Let's count. What? There's 2 more points you could be earning. Yeah, you're damn right there is. Minute to win it. It's the most exciting minute. The most exciting minute in quiz shows today. Minute. Is it just that? Yep. So on my light box, which is underneath my desk, I have got something. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got 2 names on my light box today. You need to guess. You need to read my mind, because art is all about interpreting messages non-verbally. That's what art is, really, ultimately, when we get down to it. You need to let me know what is on that light box. You get as many guesses as you want. Each guess must be in its own chat message. And I'm even going to give you a category of what is on here, okay? Make as many guesses as you want. The more guesses you have, the better chance you have of winning. It's the most exciting minute in quiz show history. Good luck. Because of, Taylor Swift. She broke up this week. So let's make a case for love. Let's finish positively here. I want you to give me some celebrity couples, okay? Celebrity couples, you've got a minute to win it. Let's get minuting and winniting. Let's make it happen. This is a pro-love minute to win it. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, excellent TV. What a wonderful start. Zig and Zag, lovely, lovely. Were they in love? Again, it keeps on with the Big Breakfast theme. I appreciate that. T.B. Douglas, Jada and Will. Maple Panda, Ryan and Blake, lovely. Stuart Seaton, Lopez and Affleck. Emma Acton, Mel and Sue. T.B. Douglas, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Wonderful stuff, guys. Another one for Will and Jada, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar, lovely stuff there, TB. Ashton and Demi. Charles and Camilla, they're in love, guys. They're the real love story. The Beckhams, Laurel and Hardy. Richard Burton and Liz Taylor, lovely stuff. Who else have we got? Let's say yes to love, guys. Who else have we got? Broderick and Jessica Parker, lovely. Elvis and Priscilla, oh, yeah. As a man who smelled of whiskey once told me, in a cemetery, death isn't a breakup. Which is quite pretty there. Quite pretty thoughts there. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, Sonny and Cher, Marvin Humes and Rochelle. Lovely work, Maple Panda. Elton John and David Furnish. Yeah, because gay people exist, guys. Kermit and Miss Piggy, that's great. That's really good. Sharon and Ozzy. Blunt and Krasinski. TB here, really dishing them out. That's great work. Last couple rolling in, potentially, but not definitely. I will tell you that somebody did get our couple here. Was it you? If the you is TB Douglas, you're dang right they did. I believe it was M. Acton came in just afterwards. M. Acton, so close with the Will Smith and Jada Smith. But TB there, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. M. Acton, Fred and Ginger, almost, but unless that's a nickname here. Congratulations, TB. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. What's more loving? Stuart Seaton's maybe stolen the thunder for this. Yes, it's very loving to be willing to cut your bumhole for your significant other. What about destroying your entire reputation just out of love? That's a love story to me, guys. Let's count up those scores. And again, let's pop them in the chat, shall we? Yes, please. As you're tallying up those scores, though, guys, I really want to remind you that in this quiz, you're only competing against yourself. There's no point threshold to being smart. And if you've got all the questions right that you realistically could have expected to get, then you are smart. Art doesn't become successful because of the opinions of others or box office numbers or the amount of people who are watching your live quiz. It becomes successful when you say, yeah, that's great. And I think this quiz was great. And if you think that your performance today was great, then it was great. No two ways about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, not live, make sure you write down your score and amusing answers in the comments below, because I would love to hear how you did. TB with a 15. Love getting those extra points. Absolutely, who doesn't? Super Nashwan 8-9. Well done, you. Stuart Seaton with a 12. M. Acton with a 12. Lovely stuff. George with a 10. SJ Beck 72 with a 13. That's very good. SJ Beck 72. Maple Panda with a 9. Excellent work, one and all. Any others coming in? JRPV20 with a 12. Fantastic performance. It seems like TB's done it again. It seems like TB has got the crown. For the high point scorer, congratulations to TB Douglas. And congratulations to every single dang one of you. You, in my humble opinion, are smart. I want to thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little something. And I hope you felt creative all at the same time. That's what I hope. Lovely work. I am not me. I am art. I hope you'll join me next time in 2 weeks. There's not going to be a show next week. We've done a few in a row, and I just need a week off. I hope you'll join me next time, same place, where you'll have another opportunity to improve your art and say to yourself, yeah, I'm smart. 2 weeks' time, guys. I'm working on some big stuff. Please allow me this time. I'm excited for it, and I want you to get excited as well. I am smart, the Not Me quiz. I am not me. You've just watched it, and you, my friends, are smart. And I will see you, gorgeous boys and girls, next time.
So there we go, and well done you, whatever your score might be. I definitely think that you are smart, though prob's not as smart as me. Your art will be better, trust me on this, should be nothing short of sublime. That's why you learn, and don't stop now, I'll see you right here next time. I am SmART,